Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Man United Talks about Manchester United. This is just where do we go from here? What do we do now? I'll figure out the title. You'll see it when this comes out. But this is just a podcast, probably going to be max 20, 25 minutes. But I'm just going to, it might not even be that long, but depends where I go. I'm just going to talk about the club, issues between Mourinho and Pogba, what needs to be done, what managers maybe we should look at, what players we need, what is why is Ed Woodward still here? Anyway, yeah, let's talk about it. If you do enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. Comment whatever you think should happen, whatever you think needs to be done. But yeah, let's get into it. So, obviously the reason this is coming about is because after yesterday, uh, Manchester United went out of the League Cup to Derby County. We drew 2-2 full time. After what was a pretty conceding performance, we let them play their way through us, and then we lost 8-7 on pens. It was not a great outing. Phil Jones missed our penalty that sent us out, but I'm not gonna put that all down to him. Although I don't believe he should be at the club at all. And respect to Phil Jones, he's a good player, but I just don't think it fits. But I'm not gonna say it's his fault. Obviously, a penalty is a penalty. He's a center back. I don't expect him to score penalties. You know, and Eric Bailly would have been next. Who knows if Eric Bailly would have scored? Well, I assume Eric Bailly would have been next. Um, yeah, and then this morning, clip is out. Sky Sports showing Mourinho and Pogba getting into it a bit. I'll insert the clip now, and it just doesn't look great. It doesn't look great at all. They aren't getting along, and I posted on my Instagram and Twitter. Actually, you can check both those out in the description. I just said, near tears, because I have a lot of respect for Mourinho. He was a man I grew up very not envious, but for lack of a better word, I didn't like him because he was so successful. He was so good at being a frustrating tactician and great at it. But now he's come to Manchester United, and it's like he's almost just lost his zest and his quality. Like in a sense, he's uh like a superhero who's lost his powers. It's frustrating. Um, and then you got the mix of Paul Pogba, who in certain cases doesn't help himself. Um, and he's resorted to calling up Mourinho in public. And Mourinho took offense to that, which is something that confuses me because throughout Mourinho's whole career, he's not been afraid to call out his own players in public. But when someone does it back to him, he's frustrated. Um, and he said Pogba's never going to captain the club again under his tutelage, I guess. And that right there is just, to me, that's stupid. I'm sorry, it's stupid because no one is more well suited to be the captain of Manchester United than Paul Pogba. He's probably the least injured player apart from last season when he started. Well, he got injured, whatever. But generally speaking, he's always fit. Plays 90 minutes. He is the best leader in the team. Lukaku is a great leader, but in terms of consistency as well, Lukaku's not playing great. I mean, he's got 4 goals this season, which is he's tied second, and well, as of last week, he was tied second in the Premier League for most goals scored. I think Mitrovic and Aguero both have 5. And Lukaku has 4. But back to the subject at hand, Pogba is probably the best suited leader. I think De Gea could be a great leader as well, but he's not. You don't. I mean, De Gea is vocal and stuff, but you don't get that sort of leadership you expect, or that character that you generally see from a United captain. And the epitome or epitome, however you want to say it, of what a Manchester United leader was. And I didn't get to see Brian Robson and Robbo. I know he was a great leader and Captain Marvel, they called him. But I saw the last bits of Roy Keane, and I saw Ryan Giggs. I saw Nemanja Vidic. I saw Rio Ferdinand. Those were leaders. They gave it to you. They were serious in what they did. Patrice Evra was the vice captain, and he was just so serious. and not even just being serious, but in terms of the way you go about it, you're good with the press. You deal with your team in the right way. You're not afraid to speak to say what has to be said. And I think Paul Pogba, out of everyone in this club, at this club, is has the best character. Valencia has no real shout for being captain apart from the fact that he's been at the club for a decade or near a decade. Um, even Chris Smalling, I thought maybe he could have been Manchester United captain, but his consistency fell out the window. But Pogba is just the best suited. So I look at the situation and Paul Pogba versus Mourinho. That's what it's being painted out to be, and you know I didn't believe it until I saw the footage this morning. I was just baffled. Like I was in disbelief that I saw the best player and the manager going at it like that. And now personally, I believe Mourinho will go before Pogba. I don't think there's a chance in hell that Pogba leaves before Mourinho. Um, I don't even believe Paul Pogba wants to leave. I'm gonna be honest. I definitely think he'd prefer to be here. You know, and he fits here. Like he is the man at Manchester United, and if he stays as he should do, you know, he will be a legend. He's not far off it. He led us to. I'm gonna say he led us to the Europa League final. He was. I mean, he did get player of the competition. He won for us pretty much. Um, and since he's come back, he's been the best player at this club consistently. Outfield player, apart from De Gea. Obviously, De Gea is amazing, but he's been the best outfield player at the club. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Matic had a good season, and this season he's been woeful. But top and bottom, I think if I had to pick one, I would keep Pogba over Mourinho, and it's frustrating, But then also you got to look at who is really going to be able to replace Mourinho. Like you really have to think about this because yes, Zidane is available. He's won 3 Champions Leagues back to back, but he's never worked with a team. And saying that his only manager experience in first team level has been Real Madrid. Yes, we have attacking talent, great attacking talent, but the defense. Since he stepped into that role, he's had Sergio Ramos, Rafael Varane, Marcelo, Carvajal. These are arguably the best players in their positions in the world. Really, like you could maybe argue that um, that Carvajal isn't, but Marcelo's been the best left back in the world for a long time. Ramos, I would say he's been the best center back in the world for the last 5 years. Arguable, especially after Thiago Silva kind of fell off. I never thought Matt Hummels was the best in the world. Chiellini, defensively, probably the best in the world for the last 5 years. But an all-round center back that can distribute and defend, Sergio Ramos without question. Rafael Varane, really, I mean, he's probably going to be considered the best center back in the world when Ramos is retired, and he's only 25. Yeah, but Carvajal, I would say, is the only debatable, position. Real Madrid, next to Juventus, probably had the best and most consistent defense. Now, him coming to Manchester United, he's not going to have anything close to that. Like Diogo Dalot is probably going to be his best defender at the club. Eric Bailly was great last night, by the way, minus conceding 2 goals. He was decent. Excuse me. But you got that, and then you got to get that's one thing I can look forward to. I don't think Zidane's gonna agree to come to this club unless he knows Ashley Young's going, unless he knows Valencia's going, Phil Jones is going. That may be a positive. I think that might be on the table for getting Zidane. But that also comes down to Ed Woodward. Like Ed Woodward is terrible. I'm sorry, Ed. You just are useless. Apparently, before the game, he came out and said, he's here to win, or we want to win." If you wanted to win, you would care less about dropping an app, which is good, by the way. But you would care less about releasing an app, and you would have had Ashley Young out the door. You would have had Phil Jones out the door. You would have had Valencia out the door. I'm sorry, these players just are not good enough. Juan Mata probably would have been gone. I love Juan Mata. He scored last night. He's quality. But let's be honest, he's the right winger at the club. Ed Woodward The way you're running things is as if you know nothing about football. You've been at this club for how many years now? 4 or 5 years as director of football, or CEO, sorry, or CEO, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever title you think you deserve, because you're absolutely just not doing your job. You are not doing your job. Right winger, essential. That should have been. When did Ronaldo leave? Like, let's be for real here. We have not got a proper right winger since Ronaldo. But Fergie was good enough to deal with that. Okay, we'll let that go. Fergie leaves, we have Zaha, who's probably going to need the next week. Yes, Valencia was good, but let's be honest. We need class. We need top level quality. Valencia is a great in between. We thought we were going to groom Zaha to be great. Didn't happen. Van Gaal let him go. Done. We bring in MUT, who was playing the 10, and it was working. Wayne Rooney was playing up top, whatever. Di Maria, why did we let Di Maria go? He could have played right wing. You're not doing your job, Ed. It's frustrating. He, to me, is the root of all the problems. Because if you give Mourinho the players he wants, he'll be happy with what he's doing. He won't be so frustrated with Paul Pogba. I mean, that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. We have no real direction because we don't have a proper director of football. Ed Woodward is worried about making money through commercial, ideas and dude, if you win things, I've said this before, if you get players, great players, and you win things, and you become known as one of the most dominant forces, as we have been known in previous times, and you become one of the most dominant forces in football, you'll get known around the world. I just don't understand. Okay, you dropped the YouTube channel. Was that not good enough commercially? We were the fastest growing sports channel ever. We got 1 million subscribers in what, like 2 days, 3 days? And yet, we can't bring in a top quality center half, a right winger. Give Jose the players he wants. Now let's think about this. If we get, like I said, suggested, Inaki Williams, and who was another center half we were pursuing? I don't even know. Who could we bring in now? Because Laporte was my top choice. Then he went to City. Langley from Sevilla is gone to Barcelona now. What center half? Titi was apparently on Mourinho's list. Do everything you can to get the manager the players he wants and deserves. Okay? It's that simple. And you're not doing your job. I'm frustrated. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of what he's doing because his position, he's not fulfilling it. Let's be honest. Yes, the club wants to make money so we can get out of debt, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, we are a football club in the Premier League, yet we're worried about making money or doing things that have nothing to do with football, is my point. We are so successful at doing things that have nothing to do with football. What's on the pitch? Let's worry about what's on the pitch. Because what we're doing on the pitch, I'm afraid of where we're going. Seriously. We're going to go into irrelevance like Liverpool and take 8 bloody years to get back to relevance. Honestly, in the time Gerrard left, up until probably last season, Liverpool were just nothing. And even when Gerrard was still there, the last 3 years of his career, they was just wank. Brendan Rodgers' era was useless, apart from when they blew the title and City won. I'm genuinely just frustrated. Okay. And I know I haven't had a real flow this whole video. I just jumped from piece to piece to piece. But I wanted to start off with the Pogba and Mourinho situation, and I dealt with that. But I just think this all flows from Ed Woodward. And usually they say when something's not right at the top, it filters throughout the club or filters throughout the organization. And that's what's happening. It's just that simple. Let's think of the top. The owners, the Glazers, they don't care about this club. They are just trying to pay off the debt. Right? and they don't care about football. They could give two craps about football. Honestly, they don't know. And then that's filtered down. We have Ed Woodward, who is brought in for commercial reasons to make more money to pay off the debt. Now, Jose Mourinho doesn't have his players. He's frustrated, and I don't even understand what the real bust up is between Pogba and Mourinho, apart from after the Wolves game, Pogba came out and said United need to be playing attacking football. Is he wrong? No. When Paul Pogba was originally at Manchester United, under Sir Alex Ferguson, we played attacking football. I'm not saying every game we were taking 30 shots and had 95 possession, but we were entertaining. It was free flowing, freedom of play for a person like Paul Pogba, who is, in my opinion, on his day. If you compare him on his day to anyone else on their day, I believe he's the best central midfielder in the world. Luka Modric would say different as he won the Ballon d'Or, which baffles me, but whatever. If Paul Pogba played under Sir Alex Ferguson in his prime, we all know Fergie sold him and whatever. I promise you, we would be fighting. We would be fighting. Honestly, this side under Sir Alex Ferguson, I'm saying it's top of the league. I don't even care. I'm sorry. I don't understand. Now that's dealt with. I don't know what else is really the problem. I don't like the fact that the club or the player Pogba and Mourinho are airing their dirty laundry in public. I don't like the fact that Mourinho's been doing that all the time. Now sometimes he gets a reaction, and maybe that's why Pogba did it. Maybe Pogba has felt this way for a while, but he wasn't getting any response, so he said, "You know what? I'm just gonna say this out loud to the press." But he's not wrong. So Mourinho needs to seriously look at himself in the mirror and say, "Well, am I doing something wrong? Yes, you're doing something wrong, Jose. Come on, man. Come on." And now look at what was I gonna say? I think the parts of this problem, then obviously it's not all Jose Mourinho's fault. It's not all Jose Mourinho's fault. But players got to do better as well. Players have to do better. Nemanja Matic. Okay, let me before I go in there, I'm moving on now. I've talked about what I feel needs to change, what the problem is off the pitch. Let's talk about on the pitch. Nemanja Matic has been absolutely horrendous. The best game he's played this season was against Watford. I was a fan. That was decent. Every other game has been trash. He started off 2017-18 amazing. He was injured coming back from the World Cup. I think he got a surgery or whatever. Something was wrong. Jose talked about it in the press conference before the first game of the season. I don't know if he's fully recovered from that, but he looks off the pace. And everything, I saw John Shin tweet about this, United fan, if you don't know who he is, awesome guy. But it almost looks like he's lagging. Like in FIFA, if you play FIFA, you get the ball and it's lagging. You press X to pass the ball, and it just lags, and it takes a half a second after you press the button to pass the ball. That's what it looks like. Every movement he makes is like laggy. It almost feels like when I watched Fellaini last season and I was just frustrated with everything he does. Fellaini looks amazing, man. Fellaini looks amazing. Why does he look like our best player? Why? Apart from Pogba and De Gea, obviously. That's done. And you could say Luke Shaw. No disrespect to the guy, but in a holding midfield role, he looks so right. Nemanja Matic looks horrific. Antonio Valencia, done. Ashley Young, done. Forgive me for hitting the mic. Phil Jones, why are these players still here? That's the biggest. That's the second biggest problem, apart from off the pitch, because There's no way we should have Ashley Young at left back. I like the guy as a person. I really do love him, but and he could still do well for a mid-level team or even a team that's trying to play in Europa League. But he should not be starting left back for Manchester United. I know we played Derby, and I thought I would be okay with that, but it's clearly not okay. Clearly. But if you're gonna be here, you gotta play better because we got so comfortable after that goal went in. It's just frustrating, man. So I got 3 points to make in closing because I'm almost done. One, Ed Woodward, not a fan. Not a fan. You're not doing your job. Get Mourinho the players he wants. I don't care if it's Mourinho or not. Any manager who steps foot in this door, I don't care if it was Van. You got Van Gaal, Di Maria, Falcao. What the? Why is Mourinho's got Lukaku and Pogba. Yeah, we brought in Fred because Fred the Red, obviously advertising. Dude. Anyway, so Woodward, not a fan. Pogba Mourinho, that's got to be sorted. But if I had to make a choice, I'd let Mourinho go before I do Pogba. And don't air your dirty laundry in public, guys. Especially because Mourinho, apparently he can give, but he can't take. That's exactly what it looks like. He can just give to anyone. But now that you've come for him, he's just not handled that well. I'm gonna play the clip one more time. Anyway, and then last but not least, the players on the pitch. They're not good enough. They're just not good enough. Sanchez, I don't know why you're here. You're not playing like anything. Like you're useless. I'm gonna be honest. You're not. You just. Lukaku, I'm okay with. As frustrating as it is, I'm okay with him because I know he's great. I know he's quality, right? But I think as bad as he's been, we aren't playing to his strengths. So I can only be as mad as you know. He should be finishing his chances, but he should also be getting more chances, right? Woodward, don't like you. Please get rid of him. Mourinho, Pogba. Players aren't playing good enough. That simple. That simple. And in closing, Mourinho's tactics, yes, they aren't great. But we haven't really been playing park the bus football for all of you opposition fans and all the other supporting fans around the league. We don't play park the bus football. We just play in a defensive style. Park the bus hasn't been done since Mourinho's first season. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'm frustrated. Oh man. West Ham preview should be out tomorrow, so that'll be that. Thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy Dave. It's been Man United Talks. Drop a follow on Twitter and Instagram down in the description. Subscribe, comment, like. Oh, deuces.